So I felt like for this video I needed like not my normal setting where I'm like all dolled up. Like obviously I've got a lot of makeup on right now. Yeah, I just felt like for this video I needed a bit more of like a relaxed setting to be able to talk about these things and like get it off my chest and really speak out about what happened to me when I first got depression, and the anxiety came later for me, but it did start with the depression. And I've always found this really hard to talk about to people, but I think it's so important. The amount of suicides in the last few months just in my area is scary, and if you amount them over the last few years, it is absolutely terrifying. And I think it's so sad that people come to this because they've got no other option, because that's what your brain tells you, that you have no other option and that's what you need to do. Personally, I've been on the brink of suicide more times than I can count, and I've planned every way in my head that I could do it, and that's just full transparency with this because I feel like people need to talk more. I want to be fully honest with people about what goes on in my head and what still goes on in my head. I am recovering and I'm getting a lot better, but I do still have suicidal days. I do still have days where I can't get out of bed, and that is part of this illness. There is such a stigma still attached to this. It breaks my heart, especially with men. Like, men should be able to cope with everything that goes on because they should be strong, because that's the persona that men are meant to have. It's bullshit. Everyone deserves happiness and a chance to have happiness. So I'm not going to rant too much because I could rant about this all night, but I'm just going to kind of tell you my story and my background to see if it helped you at all, and if it helps one person, I'm personally delighted. Let's just get into my story. Started on the 4th of December 2017. I remember it clear as day. I was absolutely fine before that. I was the happiest person in the world. Honestly, I had a new boyfriend. I'd been with him for 6 months. We were on cloud 9. We were still in that honeymoon period, and it was just the nicest thing. But that day I woke up, I was hungover. It was a Monday, and I'd been out on the Sunday night with our friends. We were on a double date, and it was so nice, and we had one of the best nights out, and it was just incredible. And the next day I woke up, I thought I'm just hungover, and then it got to the afternoon. I still hadn't moved, not once. I cried all day and thought, oh god, this is a really bad hangover. I cried and I cried and I cried, and it got to the next day. I still hadn't been out of my bed. It'd been 24 hours and I had not moved once. Thankfully I wasn't working that day because I was working in a hotel at the time. And then I was meant to be in on the Wednesday. I started getting ready on the Wednesday morning. It took so much for me to get up. I didn't start till 3 o'clock. And by 1:30 I had to call my boyfriend to come get me. I was on my living room floor having a panic attack. I couldn't move. I was stuck there. I was shaking. All my makeup was off by this point and I couldn't go to work. And that's how it started. So recently after that I went to the doctors. Thankfully I spoke up as soon as it happened. And I thought, this is just a down period in my life. I'll get over it. I'll get back to normal. It'll be fine. And as the weeks went on, it got worse and worse and worse and worse. So by the 26th, on Boxing Day, I was working at 7 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but I had to leave work at 10 o'clock. I couldn't stay there. I got signed off for a month, and I stayed in bed that whole month basically. I was in bed, like this room exactly. I lived in this room for a month and barely moved. It was heartbreaking because I'd never been through this before and I didn't know what was happening to me, and you really do think that you're the only one this is happening to. It is so horrible, and you truly wouldn't understand it unless you've been through it, and I think more and more people are going through it these days, and it is so heartbreaking. Anyway, I then went to, I was meant to be going back to work, I think on the 30th or 31st of January, I think I was meant to go back. It got to the 30th and something bad happened that night, and I actually took a little bit of an overdose, but it was more for a cry for help more than anything, because I didn't know what to do with myself anymore. So I got taken into hospital that night. I was there overnight. I've never seen such fear in my family's eyes, my boyfriend's eyes. It was really, really scary. And it's taken me a long time to talk about this. Like, I've never talked about this publicly. But I think we need to. You shouldn't feel embarrassed of those things. And I was at the time. I was so embarrassed that happened to me, and I didn't tell anyone, and I was just, it was horrible. So I got signed off work for another month, and then I think it was like another 2 weeks, and I went back and I just couldn't do it. I had to end up quitting my job. So that was in like it was April, but April time I quit my job. I started a new job in May, and I started to get a little bit better. So by this point I was going to NHS therapist and a private therapist. Thankfully, my private therapist was incredible, and I still go to her now. She is amazing. I see her once a month, and I was lucky enough that my brother sorted all this out for me and helped me get there, and so did my mum. They were really, really helpful. My brother has been incredible, literally like my best friend through this whole thing. And that's one of the most amazing things that's come out of me having some issues, is how close I've grown to my whole family and my boyfriend. It's just brought us so much closer, and it makes me so happy that we're actually we're connected more now than ever before. But I have been on medication now since that December. Yeah, so I've been on medication for about a year and 3 months at this point. 4 months maybe. I've been through 5 different medications. I'm finally on one that suits me, and it's called fluoxetine. I take 40 milligrams a day, which is double what I was on before, because I had quite a bad relapse in January time where I was back to what I was before. I was signed off work again. I've been signed off work countless times in the last year and a half. I have been signed off so much. So I've gone through, I was working as a hairdresser before all this started. This all started when I was working at the Palace Hotel, and then I had to quit that job because I was in too much of a bad state and it was really not good for my health. But it was a lovely place to work, but it just wasn't good for me at the time. And then what did I do? And then I went to Next, which was a nice place to work as well, but it just wasn't really for me. And then I managed to get my dream job in October in Benefit, what I thought was my dream job. I loved Benefit. It was so much fun, and it still is so much fun going to work and still being able to see everyone, because that's what I loved so much, is everyone that I worked with, all the counter girls, they're literally incredible. But it wasn't good for me with the pressure that comes with it. It wasn't bad pressure, it just wasn't right for me at the time. My boss was incredible about the whole thing. She helped me through leaving and getting through to actually working for Boots now. So I just work on the tills at Boots now, 3 days a week, because I'm still majorly struggling. I still struggle every single day with my mental health, and it is every day I wake up, I'm still struggling. I have to fight every single day to be happy. And finding something that makes me happy, as makeup does, I never thought that would happen to me. So that's why it means so much to me that people are watching my videos and they comment and they say nice things to me when they see me, because I put so much effort into this and I really want this to be my life. Makeup is my passion, it's my life. I love creating looks and I love it. And my other passion I've recently discovered is interiors. I just go on Pinterest and look at home designs like all day, every day. I'm obsessed. And I can't wait to have my own house one day, and I'm actually looking forward to the future now, and eventually, hopefully this year, moving in with my boyfriend. Hopefully, we'll see. But 3 days a week for me working just now is perfect. It really suits me, and I'm very thankful for the people that have really helped me be able to still work and pushed me through those boundaries, because at one point I seriously did think I was going to die. If you asked me 2 months ago where I was in bed crying at night, thinking of ways that I could not be here anymore. And that is so hard to say, and I still feel a bit ashamed when I say that, but I know I shouldn't, because it's such a common thing now. It shouldn't be common, but it is common, and I don't want to be ashamed of that. It's something that happened to me and something that's still happening to me, and I want everyone to know that they can do this and they can get through it. I haven't yet, but I am trying with every inch of me, and I will never give up trying for the life that I want. I want kids. I want to marry my partner. I want to live the way I should live, and the way that I was brought into this world for. And I know this is a super deep conversation. It's quite insane because I don't usually talk like this, but I feel like everyone needs to be more open, more transparent, and just help each other out. I would love if everyone would share this video and like it and just give someone a bit of hope, especially in this area, in Inverness, in the Highlands. I just want everyone to have a bit of hope. And honestly, whoever is watching this video, if you ever need a friend, I will always be a friend to anyone. I would never turn down anyone for help. If you were struggling, I will always be there, and I sincerely mean that. And I also want to give a massive shout out to Mikey's Line before this video ends. They have done so much in the Highlands. It's unbelievable. They are very close to my heart. I have used them a couple of times myself. They've got a text service, and I will leave all their details linked down below in this video. So if you ever need to use it, it's there for you. But they have been incredible and helped people, and the volunteers, they're just something else. They're so amazing. To do that with your free time is just incredible, and I really want to give a massive shout out to Mikey's Line for that. And please keep donating. They need your donations to keep this running, and I really feel like the Highlands needs this just now. So I just want to make sure everyone has that hope in their heart. Things will get better, and I love you all so much. Please like this video, subscribe, because I will be doing more videos like this as well. I think it's so important to talk about these things all the time, and I want to kind of share some of your guys' stories too. Like, I would want to help you get your stories out as well. So thank you so much for watching this. I know this is a bit different video, but I'm hoping that I will have another video or 2 up this week. I'm not sure what days they'll be up yet. My schedule's a bit crazy, so I'm just going to film them as much as I can and then get them up when I can as well. So thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video.